destruction of property. Despite the launch of security operations and heavy police presence in the area, the situation remains dire. Honorable Speaker, bandits are brazenly roaming and scouting villages, going as far as alerting residents of their intended targets, despite the increased police presence in the area. Failure to decisively confront banditry emboldens the perpetrators. This insecurity has severely disrupted essential services such as education and healthcare, significantly impacting development in the region. Recent weeks have witnessed a concerning trend of daily attacks, highlighting the urgent need for decisive and long-lasting solution and proactive multi-agency intervention. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I seek leave for adjournment of the House to discuss this matter of great national concern with a view to exploring possible and lasting solutions. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Do you have sufficient support? Honorable members, in fact, take your seats. This motion generates interest from Sarah Korere and Honorable Kunjuri of Laikipia East. So, and members of my panel who will be in the chair, the first bite after Korere should be Mwangi Kunjuri, then you open up the floor to anybody and everybody. Number two, Sarah, you'll be, Honorable Korere, you should be ready to move your motion at 6. So whatever business we have at 6, we will stop to come to your motion of adjournment. Although insecurity is highlighted to be like Laikipia, but there are many other areas that may be affected by similar issues. Thank you. Yes, Honorable Junet.
Mr. Speaker, in line with the adjournment motion that has been moved by Honorable Sarah Korere, the Right Honorable Speaker, Mr. Speaker, last week while you were away on other parliamentary business, there was an adjournment motion that was sought by Honorable Dr. James Nyikal. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, that was, he stood under, I think, Standing Order 33, where a member could stand on his feet and bring a motion on matter of national importance, just like Honorable Korere has done. Mr. Speaker, his motion was in relation to the strike of doctors, the ongoing national strike of doctors and medical staff, Mr. Speaker. But looks like, Mr. Speaker, he was not granted an opportunity to discuss the matter in spite of him having the requisite support in the House. Mr. Speaker, I would like to seek your indulgence to clarify on that matter, because that matter is also likewise a very, very important matter of national importance, Mr. Speaker. So we could not conclusively agree on the way forward on that day, and we left it hanging, knowing very well that on Tuesday, God willing, the Speaker will be back, and we will get better clarification than what we went with home that day, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, this matter of national importance, as you know, are seasonal. A matter might be of national importance today, and it ends up becoming tonight a matter of county importance or non-important, Mr. Speaker. And as you are aware, Mr. Speaker, this doctor strike and medical personnel strike has been going on for the last almost now a month, Mr. Speaker, without any solution, and this House is the House that deals with the matters of concern to the people, Mr. Speaker. Because if we don't discuss those kind of issues on the floor of this House...
You are now debating instead of raising a point of order.
So, Mr. Speaker, with those few remarks, I seek your clarification on whether Honorable Nyikal's adjournment motion was part of, was not done procedurally or was gagged.
Thank you, Honorable Minority Whip.
Professional services such as videography, photography, drone services, live streaming and public address services in events such as wedding, burial, birthday, dowry
later
payment,
learned that
conference
last
meeting,
week
graduation,
there was a similar
documentaries,
attempt
advertisements and music video
to
as
move a
well.
motion of
We are
adjournment,
located at Thika Road,
which
Kimbo,
motion had not
Desoto
been
Lake Oil
approved
Building.
by the
You can
office of the
contact us
Speaker.
through E732 18
And upon
7555
receiving
or
Dr.
0757
Nikal's motion and consultation with the management of the House, that's the House Business Committee, we learned that tomorrow the Minister for Health will be coming to Parliament to answer questions at question time. Secondly, there is a question that relates to the same subject that Dr. Nikal wanted to move a motion of adjournment, a very wide question. Thirdly, we had already approved to have a motion of adjournment by the Honorable Korere and Kiunjuri for today. In my mind, instead of approving Honorable Nikal's motion that may come tomorrow or day after, I will indulge the whole House tomorrow at question time for at least up to an hour for you to interrogate the minister on the same issue, and you may very well achieve a lot more than what you would have achieved in a motion of adjournment. And I believe Dr. Nikal has been communicated to this effect, and he will get the first bite of joyriders on the question when it is asked tomorrow. Next order. Yes, who? Yes, on the same issue? Today you very effectively prosecuted this subject in the House Business Committee.
Yes, today I was representing the minority leader, who I believe is still a majority leader until the court decides otherwise. But Mr. Speaker, thank you so much for capturing the spirit of the House. But away from the issue of the doctor strike or any other issue that come on the floor, the point that we are protecting is our space as members of this House. Because a motion of adjournment is very special to us. It is special to us because that is where we exercise our representative mandate on this House. And even though we are not able to resolve anything on that motion, but it gives us an opportunity to ventilate freely on issues. When a minister comes to the House, the minister is coming because we are having an oversight role over him or her. That may be so. But the space and the special space of this adjournment motion must never be clouded under issues of politics or the issues of the day. Because, Mr. Speaker, in your absence, a temporary speaker made a decision, which you are now aware, that when proceedings are taking place either in committee or some other place in the presence of Parliament, that the plenary is unable to interrogate and discuss those issues. We just want you to preserve the standing order and our space to ventilate openly, even if we don't resolve anything. That opportunity in itself is so sacred to us, and this is the issue that we present to you on the sacredness of that standing order to a member of Parliament, whether this side or the other side, on any issue that we think should be addressed. Thank you.
I hear you. Honorable Koech, I understand you did not properly give your notice of motion. Can you go ahead now?
Honorable Speaker, my apologies. Honorable Speaker, I beg to give the notice of the following motion, that taking into consideration the findings of the Departmental Committee on Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations in its report on the vetting of the nominees for the appointment as High Commissioners, Ambassadors, Permanent Representatives and Consul Generals, laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 16th April 2024, and pursuant to provisions of Article 132E of the Constitution, Section 22 of the Foreign Service Act 2021, and Section 3 and 8 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act 2011, this House approves the appointments of the following persons as High Commissioners, permanent representatives, and ambassadors. I will have them in cluster. High Commissioners: Ms. Catherine Kirumba Karemo, London, United Kingdom. Honorable Joash Mahangi as High Commissioner, Kampala, Uganda. Honorable Lilian Tomitom as High Commissioner, Lusaka, Zambia. Ms. Caroline Kamende Daudi as High Commissioner, Ottawa, Canada. Lieutenant General Peter Mbogo Njiru as High Commissioner, Islamabad, Pakistan. Ambassadors: Honorable Frederick Otieno Outa, Cairo, Egypt. Professor Anne Kisaka Nangulu, Dakar, Senegal. Mr. Timothy Kaluma Mcharo, Algiers, Algeria. Honorable Christopher Andrew Langat, Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire. Mr. Jessica Mudhoni Gakinya, Rabat, Morocco. Honorable Alima Yusuf Mucheke, The Hague, Netherlands. Mr. David Kiplangat Kerich, Washington, D.C., USA. Ms. Evelyn Mwenda Karisa, Havana, Cuba. Dr. Peter Mutuku Madhuki, Moscow, Russia. Ambassador Moi Lemoshira, Tokyo, Japan. Mr. Kenneth Milimo Nganga, Abu Dhabi, UAE. Lieutenant General John Amwangi, Tehran, Iran. Mr. Abdi Aden Koryo, Muscat, Oman. Permanent representatives: Ms. Gertrude N. Angote, United Nations Environment Program, UNEP. Ms. Grace Atieno Okara, United Nations Habitat. Dr. Fancy Tor, Ambassador and Permanent Representative, Geneva. Mr. Kitala Erastus Locale, United Nations, New York. Consuls General: Mr. Ezra Chiloba, Los Angeles, USA. Mr. Aden Mohammed, Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Mr. David Iboko Lokemer, Dubai, UAE. And two, that rejects the appointment of Mr. Charles Givinji Keiru as Consul General, Goma, Democratic Republic of Congo. And three, resolves that henceforth consuls generals should undergo vetting after their nomination by appointing authority, and that the appointing authority recalls the serving consuls general not vetted for the vetting and approval by the National Assembly. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Koech. Honorable members, as we go to order number 8, allow me to rearrange the business on the order paper a little. Let's do order number 9, 10, and 11 being first reading. Then we come back to order number 8 for the mover to reply on the motion on NGCDF Vihiga County. Clerk? Yeah? Okay, but do we have any? Call out the order number 7 first.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
We don't have any. Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security, to respond to a statement requested by the member for Kitutu Masaba. Honorable Russell, is the member for Kitutu Masaba present? Yes.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I wish to respond to statement on the delayed release of autopsy report of the late Inspector Walter Nyamato. Honorable Speaker, the member for Kitutu Masaba constituency, Honorable Clive Gisaro, has sought for a statement regarding the delayed release of autopsy report of the late Inspector Walter Nyamato. The honorable member particularly sought to be informed, 1, under what circumstance did National Police Service dispatch officers from the Kenya Police Service, including the late Inspector Walter Nyamato, to the Republic of Haiti despite a High Court order barring the government from deploying Kenya Police Service officers to the said nation. 2, why it has taken inordinately long for the autopsy report of the late Inspector of Police Walter Nyamato to be released to the family. 3rd, when should the family expect to receive the autopsy report and have the body of their loved one repatriated for a decent send-off and in order to find a closure on the loss of their loved one? Mr. Speaker, I wish to report as follows. 1, under what circumstance did National Police Service dispatch officers from the Kenya Police Service, including the late Inspector Walter Nyamato, to the Republic of Haiti, despite a High Court order barring the government from deploying Kenya police officers to the said nation? Honorable Speaker, the late Chief Inspector of Police, personal number 2008-070-300, Walter Nyamato, was employed on 4th April 2008 as an administration police service officer and has been in active service until his unfortunate demise. Honorable Speaker, the High Court ruling dated 26 January 2024 laid out the procedure that the government of Kenya should engage regarding any interest of deploying National Police Service personnel in any foreign country. Pursuant to the court ruling, the late officer was among the team of Kenyan officers who traveled to Washington, D.C., USA, for a consultative meeting on the process to be undertaken in ensuring strict conformity with the legal requirement prior to such deployment. Therefore, the late officer was neither traveling to Haiti as alleged, nor did the National Police Service deploy any advance team to Haiti as purported. I wish to table copies of airplane ticket.
Thank you, Honorable Raso. Clive?
Honorable
you are
Speaker,
done?
it is continuing.
Okay.
Why it has taken inordinately long time for the autopsy report. Honorable Speaker, the late officer died in a foreign country, United States, which prompted the need to establish the cause of his unfortunate death before the body could be flown back to Kenya. Upon completion of the autopsy, the report shall be given to the family in conformity with the Kenyan laws and on the right of privacy. The family of the late shall be given the medical report without arbitrarily being deprived of the same as guaranteed by Article 31 of the Constitution. This shall be done in a manner to ensure that authority releasing such information does not contravene the family's fundamental rights under the Constitution, which guarantees their inherent dignity. Finally, Mr. Speaker, the honorable member asked when should the family expect to receive the autopsy report and have the body of their loved one. Mr. Speaker, the body of the late officer arrived in the country on 7th March 2024 and was received by the family in the company of senior officers in the National Police Service. He was laid to rest on 15 March 2024 at his home in Nyamira County. The autopsy report shall be availed to the family once received from the U.S. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Russell. Clive, do you have any issue with the statement which you requested?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. However, I may not be very much satisfied with some of the responses given. On the first item, they have tried to answer the question of the mission in which Officer Nyamato was involved in. Yes, he was not destined to Haiti, but the discussion and the agenda of his trip had to do with sending our police officer to Haiti, which I do believe is open for a wider discussion. On the second and third question, Honorable Speaker, Nyamato passed on sometimes towards mid of February. His body was received in Kenya and buried in mid-March, a month later. I attended the burial. It was right in my village. Honorable Speaker, as we speak today, a month later after the burial, the family is yet to receive the autopsy report. I didn't seek a statement on who did what. My statement was on what was the cause of the death of Inspector Nyamato. So if we are saying that 2 months later, the government does not know what killed its officer, whether it was a heart attack, whether it was a stroke, whether it was poisoning, that is all we want to know. What led to the death of Inspector Nyamato? Mr. Speaker, 2 months down the road, the government is waiting for a response from the United States of America. This leaves a lot of questions, more than the answers given. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Russell, do you have the autopsy report?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I understand the concerns of the Honorable Member, but I think the issue that we both must understand, this officer died in a foreign country, where that information of autopsy may not necessarily be released to the government, but even if that is done, the person who must receive the information first is the family. I think the response by the Honorable Minister is very clear, that we must respect that the family must be given this information in confidence. But as it were, we even spoke to the CS that is in contact with the Kenyan embassy in Washington so that they are able to get this autopsy report. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Wandai.
You know, this saga, Honorable Speaker, surrounding the death of Inspector Nyamato, raises a lot more fundamental issues, not just about Nyamato now, but any other Kenyan officer who in future might find themselves in a similar situation. Honorable Speaker, I think the relevant persons, through the chair, should take this matter a bit more seriously. You know, Honorable Speaker, it is thoroughly agonizing for a family to lose a loved one, and 3 months now almost, nobody is telling them what caused his death. You know, that is a simple thing the Honorable Gisairo is asking for. And the question of what took Inspector Nyamato to the Washington, D.C. is not yet addressed. Because, Honorable Speaker, Nyamato was a fairly junior officer by all standards. So the country, least of all the family, deserves full disclosure. Even if we talk about national security issues. But we deserve full disclosure at what was the role that Inspector Nyamatu, a fairly junior officer, going to play in Washington, D.C., if not Haiti? These are questions that have to be answered now or later, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Yes, Dado.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I think as a committee, we'll take it upon ourselves to make sure that we get the autopsy report as soon as possible. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Dr. Nyikal.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think when a family loses a member, it's a very important issue. But there's a more basic issue, Mr. Speaker, that I would really like you to listen to. This process we have created of seeking statements from chairs of committees, Mr. Speaker, I think we are giving ourselves a raw deal because we read written statements. As MP, as members of parliament and chairman of committee, we do not have information. So if you are not careful, the ministers are actually going to use us to actually delay issues. So, Mr. Speaker, I think we should rethink this whole area because in any case, I have seen it many times, the chairs, and that is natural, tend to even now to protect what the minister has given, while that is not our role. So, Mr. Speaker, as I agree that what will be done, let us review this process. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Nyikal, it is up to what a member elects. When I communicated to this House that the ministers will be coming here to answer questions, I also gave members an option. If you wish to seek for a statement through a committee chair, which information may be inadequate or may not have sufficient material to answer supplementary questions, you get what you ask for. Because ministers come here routinely. In fact, on the list of ministers to come, as indicated to me by the majority leader, the Minister for Interior will be here in the next 2-3 weeks. So if the Honorable Clive had elected to fire a question to the minister, what you are complaining about would not be there. He chose to file a question to the committee, and the committee has brought what the ministry has given them. So it's a matter of choice. Choose well, you get a good answer. Choose badly, you may get an inadequate answer. Yes, Kamket, we are coming to your statement. The next statement is in response to your request. So there's nothing out of order at this point. Dida Raso? Next, not Raso. Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Tourism and Wildlife. Who is the chair?
Yeah.
Kareke Mbuki?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir.
Is in response to a question by the member for Tiati.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Thanks so much, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to respond to the statement by the Honorable William Kamket, MP for Tiati constituency, regarding recruitment of rangers by Kenya Wildlife Service. Mr. Speaker, sir, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44-2C, the above honorable member requested for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Tourism and Wildlife regarding the above subject matter on 11th April 2024. The committee resolved to write to the Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Tourism and Wildlife, on a letter dated 12th April, inviting the Cabinet Secretary to appear before the committee on 16th of April 2024 to respond to the specific matters raised in the statement. Mr. Speaker, the Minister of Tourism and Wildlife commenced recruitment of rangers yesterday, 15th of April 2024, following a nationwide advertisement placed on the dailies on 19th of March 2024. Honorable Speaker, during the committee meeting which was held today, and whereby we had invited the Honorable William Kamket, and actually he was present, the Cabinet Secretary reported to the committee that extensive effort were undertaken in order to mobilize resources for the ongoing recruitment.
The Cabinet Secretary noted that the service did not receive any budgetary support from the Exchequer due to the ongoing national fiscal consolidation measures. However, Mr. Speaker, noting that the last recruitment by KWS was conducted in 2015, and the services sought alternative funding to support the recruitment, which was aimed at mitigating the ever-increasing human wildlife conflict. Mr. Speaker, the military utilized Wildlife Endowment Fund, which it is within the KWS, to be able to recruit 1,000 rangers. Mr. Speaker, while the committee appreciates the measures taken by the ministry to facilitate the recruitment, the committee observed that using counties as basis for designing the recruitment schedule would disadvantage members of the public living in power plug sub-counties. Mr. Speaker, Article 21(3) of the Constitution provides that all state organs and all public officers have a duty to address the needs of the vulnerable groups within the society, including youth and members of the minority or the marginalized communities. Mr. Speaker, further Article 56 mandates the state to put up place affirmative action program designed to ensure that the minorities and the marginalized groups are provided special opportunities for access to employment. Mr. Speaker, the Cabinet Secretary indicated that the services resolved. The Cabinet Secretary indicated that KWS resolved to conduct the recruitment at the county level due to the prevailing budgetary constraints. It submitted that the ministry has implemented a centralized recruitment process designed to allocate slots per constituency in order to guarantee fair and adequate distribution of successful recruits, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the implication of this is that it is only the recruitment which is centralized at the county headquarters level, but each and every constituency will be able to have their own fair share, and they will be able to have separate recruitment per constituency, but in a centralized location, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the members of the committee raised additional concerns relating to the recruitment, including lack of equal opportunities for youth and at the constituency level, particularly outlining the sub-counties which have limited opportunity. The Cabinet Secretary indicated that the ministry has implemented mechanisms to ensure that appropriate collective measures will be taken where the disparities are identified, including adjusting numbers of recruitment to address the gaps. He submitted that the measures designed to address any possible shortcomings will ensure fair representation of the minority and the marginalized community, and also, Mr. Speaker, considering the population density of each and every sub-county, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the same will also be used to ease the logistics and ensure challenges likely to be encountered by the members of the public. Mr. Speaker, as a committee, we found that the issues of security, like what is happening in Baringo County, Mr. Speaker, could be able to disadvantage members of public from Tiati. But nevertheless, Mr. Speaker, since the exercise has already taken off, we agreed with the Cabinet Secretaries further affirmative actions will be taken in case there is any disparity. Mr. Speaker, the Cabinet Secretary also submitted that the ministry has established an affirmative action for counties bordering national parks and mostly affected by the human wildlife conflict. Mr. Speaker, these counties which will be able to get extra numbers by virtue that they are bordering counties are Nairobi, Nakuru, Kajiado, Meru, Bungoma, Garissa, Taita Taveta, Narok, Makueni, Homa Bay, Turkana, Trans Nzoia, Machakos, and Siaya counties. Honorable Speaker, the committee will ensure that a report detailing the number of recruits, their names, county, sub-county, and the constituency will be presented to this House once the recruitment exercise is over. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Kamket, you satisfied with the response? Give Kamket the mic.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Indeed, Mr. Speaker, I appeared before the committee in the morning as a friend of the committee, and the response by the chair captures what the minister said, except, Mr. Speaker, that there are no guarantees. What is happening, Mr. Speaker, from the explanation of the Cabinet Secretary, what seems to be happening is that the ministry has decided to transfer the burden of costs from the ministry to the hustlers themselves. Instead of the ministry going down to the sub-counties, they have gone to the counties in order to save costs. So therefore, the young men and women who would be looking for those to be recruited will have to travel hundreds of kilometers, spend the night at the county headquarters, and in their thousands. So therefore, the cost goes to those who are seeking to be employed instead of the ministry bearing the cost of that employment. Number two, Mr. Speaker, we have serious security challenges in the county of Baringo at the moment. And as I speak in this House, Mr. Speaker, there is no public transportation from any corner of Tiati towards Cabernet. And that's a problem that our people, the people I represent, it is guaranteed that they will not be able to be employed or to be recruited at Cabernet during this recruitment exercise. But as you mentioned earlier, when Honorable TJ raised on the matter of statement vis-a-vis question, Mr. Speaker, the problem we have is this. The only avenue I had to raise this matter, which was quickly available, is to seek a statement.
Honorable
because
Kamket.
if I was to ask a question...
Order, Honorable Kamket. You are now attempting to justify why you requested for a statement. It is not an issue. If you are seeking a clarification from the chair of the committee, go ahead and do so. If you are satisfied with the explanation he has given, take your seat and we move to something else. Because you can't elect to ask for a statement and then try to justify why you did so.
You know, Mr. Speaker, I only ask you to indulge me.
And don't bring in an extraneous matter, particularly what was asked by Dr.
Indulge
Nikar.
me, Mr. Speaker. Kindly
Yes.
indulge me.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. You know, Mr. Speaker, when there are urgent issues and the Cabinet Secretary is not scheduled to appear for question time, what other avenue do we have? Except now to try this lame one of seeking a statement. I was only lucky, Mr. Speaker, that
Your request for a statement is legitimate.
Yeah.
It does not contradict any standing order.
Yeah.
You are perfectly right in asking for your statement. The statement has come.
Yeah.
What the opportunity you have now is to seek any clarification arising out of the
Thank you.
statement.
You've understood me at least.
And if you are satisfied, you say, I am satisfied, thank you.
I am not satisfied, Mr. Speaker. That's why can I ask the chairperson, Mr. Speaker, what guarantees does he have? What guarantees can he give that the people of Tiati shall be recruited at the county headquarters, given the problem of insecurity that we have in the county at the moment?
That is good. Yes, Milemba. Kareke Mbuki, take
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Though the Honorable Member of Tiati looks at this as a weak link, I want to ride on his having asked for this statement because it gives me a great platform that we have the same challenge in our constituencies in Vihiga and more specifically Emuhaya, where I represent. That members and the young people in this state of the nation where employment is very difficult, everyone is very keen about any opportunity that arises for employment. And members in my own constituency, Emuhaya, were told to walk all the way to Kidundu, which is very far. And that actually limits the number of young people who would go to actually sort for this employment and jobs and opportunities provided for by KWS. So yes, we get the statement, and I want to thank the member of Tiaty for having sought for this statement. I want to ask the chair that which guarantee moving forward is there that in future, or even now, if it's possible, this business of recruitment for KWS can be done at the constituency level, which is the baseline where everybody can actually access the opportunities because we want to give equal opportunities to all the Kenyans. And number two, now that it was done at the level of county, given that they are saving the costs, which guarantee do you have for us and Kenyans outside there that we shall have a list printed out to show how the distribution will have been done per constituency where we wanted it to be done? Honorable Speaker, those are my two issues I want to raise. Thank you.
Thank you. Clap.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I wish to acknowledge that there are security challenges in Baringo, and also agree with the chairman for tourism and wildlife. But one thing that is required, Mr. Speaker, through you, that is a publication of the number of recruits per constituency in Kenya for KWS. Even if it is few positions, let it be cassetted that Baringo North will get this number, Tiaty will get this number, Kitui Rural will get this number, so that there is a Muhaya should get that, there are specific numbers, so that we ensure equity and fairness throughout the Republic of Kenya and avoid incidences of litigation. You've seen how litigation has come, Mr. Speaker, for recruitment of even KRA, because when one corner of the Republic or one constituency takes everything, then it brings a lot of litigation and things don't move forward in the country. So the chairman can liaise with the Director General of KWS and the minister responsible, so that as they carry out this recruitment, before they announce to the recruits in the field, in the county headquarters, that these are the number for every constituency, and then from there, you sort out per constituency so that we are truly represented in Kenya. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Pareo.
Giving me this opportunity, and I want to add my voice to what the members have said, because when it comes to an opportunity like this one, we want all Kenyans to enjoy the opportunity, and when it is done in a way that you don't even understand who is being hired, and even reaching to the people that are needed to be employed. For me, I see that I am an MP of two sub-counties, that is Narok North sub-county and Central sub-county. And when you look at Narok North, it is a hardship area that even these youth cannot come to Central Division. So for me, I just want these vacancies to be shared equally, so that as we move from here, we will know that each constituency will have this number, other than having a blank thing that we're having after the interviews, after our youth running for the whole day, 2 days. Finally, none of them will get an opportunity to be employed. So I also support that there is a need for these shares to be shared equally. Thank you.
Kangogo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, though the exercise by KWS has already started in many parts of the country, and it might be difficult maybe to reverse, but Mr. Speaker, we want as a House to say that, Mr. Speaker, such positions should be shared amongst the constituencies in the future. Mr. Speaker, Marakwet East, for instance, from Iten, the county headquarters of Elgeyo Marakwet County, hundreds of youths, Mr. Speaker, started coming yesterday, because traveling from the border of West Pokot to Iten it's almost 200 kilometers. So they had to come yesterday, they have to sleep Iten, so that tomorrow they now participate in the exercise. And you will find that, Mr. Speaker, Elgeyo Marakwet County may be having like 10 slots and you have almost a whole 400 youth. They have traveled hundreds of kilometers. Mr. Speaker, I want to ask the ministry, through the chair, my good friend here, so that in future, Mr. Speaker, in the next or a future exercise, they make sure that they take this exercise to near the people, Mr. Speaker, and also share the slots amongst the constituencies. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Kareke, I hope you are recording all the interventions.
Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the chairman of the committee for a very eloquent statement. Mr. Speaker, I hope that I've heard the chairman say, but they are engaging the chairman too much. I heard the chairman say that certain constituencies, certain counties which are bordering national parks and game reserves will get a priority, will get affirmative action. And that's a very good thing, Mr. Speaker. I just want to urge the chairman that I hope that is not lip service to those particular counties, because the people of Narok County have looked after the wildlife so much, and they treasure that particular responsibility to be employed by KWS. We hope that that statement will be adhered to. Of course, it's a pity that people from Kilgoris will be asked to go to Olentimama Stadium, which is so far away. They have to come across through Kisii, Bomet, in order to get back to their Narok headquarters. And it would have been much easier for the KWS to wait for funds to go and recruit people on site. But that being the case, we hope that this will be a transparent exercise and that we can actually get to know the report of how affirmative action was conducted.
Baya, you are the last on this. Timothy Kangoga has asked about Marakwet. I believe it covers you.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much for this opportunity. Honorable Speaker, what we need to do, especially in the recruitment of people to the armed forces, is to create greater accountability, and such that every Kenyan has an equal opportunity like any other Kenyan to be recruited into the forces. Honorable Speaker, what happens, the recruitment officers will come to Kilifi, and they will, at the end of the day, leave and will not know who has qualified, who has not qualified. At the end of the day, when they go report, there is nobody from Kilifi. But Honorable Speaker, what we need to is, we want at the end of the recruitment exercise, just like we do in elections, we want the list of those that have been selected to be pasted on the wall of an office, so that everybody knows in this village, in this sub-county, so and so and so were taken from that rigorous competition. Honorable Speaker, imagine those people come, they run, they do all those kind of things. At the end of the day, you know I have qualified, but you are told to taken to a chamber there, and you are told, you know, we can't take you because you failed in a urine test. And yet you did a urine test the previous day, which actually showed you are clean, but on that particular day. And then they say, you know, if you run for a long time, your urine changes color. On that aspect, a person from Kilifi is left, because we know that probably they have already a list somewhere else. So, Honorable Speaker, we must, as members of Parliament, demand greater accountability in the recruitment of armed forces. When people go to, we want to know how many slots have been allocated for Kilifi and how many Kilifians have been recruited into that. That then we will rest easy knowing that no corruption or malpractices have been. So, the committee, please, as KWS goes on this, we want greater accountability on the numbers recruited. We want to know how many will be recruited beforehand, and we want to know how many have been recruited. And that is the best way to bring accountability. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Kareke Mbuki, I think most of the concerns are the same.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, I would like to appreciate all the sentiment raised by the members. Indeed, Mr. Speaker, they are extremely very varied. Mr. Speaker, sir, it's good to note that during the morning session, we were with the MP for Tiati, the Honorable William Kamketi, and we had a very good conversation with the State Department of Wildlife, headed by the Cabinet Secretary. Mr. Speaker, I want us as members really to appreciate the initiative taken by the Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife toward the recruitment of rangers. Because, Mr. Speaker, the last time KWS recruited was in 2015. And to date, up to date, Mr. Speaker, there is their need of more rangers and other personnel by KWS, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as I indicated earlier, KWS is faced with serious financial constraints. That's why, Mr. Speaker, they could not be able to afford, in terms of the budgetary constraint, they could not really be able to go at the sub-county level. And also, Mr. Speaker, we need to appreciate how many number of recruits are being recruited, Mr. Speaker. We are talking of 1,000 recruits, Mr. Speaker, as compared to KDF or Kenya Police Service, who normally recruit more than 10,000 plus. Mr. Speaker, on average, Mr. Speaker, we expect each constituency to recruit 3 rangers. And Mr. Speaker, you can be able now to imagine the logistics of now going to do all this recruitment at the sub-county level. Mr. Speaker, it is because of the same that the ministry decided they will be able to do recruitment at the county level. But even at the county level, Mr. Speaker, each and every constituency, if I thought they have gone to Nyayo Stadium, each and every constituency in Nairobi will be able to do their own independent recruitment, but at a centralized level. Mr. Speaker, I want to give a commitment that immediately after the recruitments are over, I'm going to table the list of all the recruits who have been recruited across the entire country in all the 290 constituencies, Mr. Speaker, which I'm going to table in this House. Mr. Speaker, at the same time, I want to give a commitment that each and every constituency will be able to get its own fair share of each and every recruit in their respective constituency. So, Mr. Speaker, basically the members were so much concerned what will really be able to go to each and every sub-county or each and every constituency. But, Mr. Speaker, this is a learning lesson because I'm aware that Kenya Police Services, Kenya Police, KDF will be recruited in near future. Let them first and foremost be able to table the distribution by each and every sub-county before the time of recruitment. Mr. Speaker, we have also learned that the ministry has written to the National Treasury because these 1,000 rangers is a step-gap measure. Once we get further funding, the check-up through the supplementary tool, then, Mr. Speaker, and because the demand, the requirement, the establishment requirement for the rangers is more than 5,000, almost 7,000, Mr. Speaker. I want to give another taking, doing the next recruitment, which is scheduled either this financial or next financial year, the recruitment to be done at the sub-county levels, Mr. Speaker. With those many remarks, Mr. Speaker, I beg to submit. Thank you.
Thank you. Next order. You now proceed in the manner I directed.
Thank you.
Order number 9.
Order number 9, the Coffee Bill, Senate Bill number 10 of 2023, first reading. A bill for an act of parliament to provide for the establishment of the Coffee Board of Kenya and the Coffee Research and Training Institute, the roles of the national and county governments, the regulation, development, and promotion of the coffee industry, and for connected purposes. Order number 10, the Prevention of Livestock and Produce Theft Bill, Senate Bill number 12 of 2023, first reading. A bill for an act of parliament to provide for a legal framework for the identification of livestock, the movement of livestock, the prevention of livestock theft, the regulation of trade in livestock, the return of illegally acquired livestock and firearms, and for connected purposes. Order number 11, the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Bill, Privileges Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 37 of 2023, first reading. A bill for an act of parliament to amend the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Act to give effect to Article 125 of the Constitution by operationalizing the powers of arrest by Parliament and Article 50 of the Constitution on the right to a fair hearing and for connected purposes.
Order number 8.
Order number 8, motion, reports of the Auditor General on the National Government Constituencies Development Fund for 5 constituencies in Vihiga County. Mover to reply.
Muliongi, is that you?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
You may reply.
Mr. Speaker, I wish to thank members who contributed to the debate on Decentralized Funds Accounts Committee report on audited accounts for 5 constituencies in Vihiga County for 3 financial years, 2013-2014 to 2015-2016. The constituencies examined included Vihiga, Sambatia, Amisi, Emuhaya, and Luanda. Honorable Speaker, I wish to take this opportunity to thank the constituency committees, the fund account managers, and the project management committees for utilizing the money given to them well on behalf of the people of the 5 constituencies. I also wish to thank the honorable members for these constituencies for patronizing the funds well. Honorable Speaker, it has come out clearly from the debate that NGCDF is the only development fund that is visible in all the remote villages in Kenya. That NGCDF benefits the most vulnerable school-going children in the villages, and it is indeed an economic stimulus fund that benefits and debacks the common mwananchi in the remotest corners of the villages in Kenya. Honorable Speaker, it has come out clearly from the debate, unlike the notion with those naysayers against NGCDF, MPs have no role in NGCDF monies and accountability. Projects are identified by the communities, processed by the constituency committees and the fund account managers, and implemented by the project management committees. MPs are only involved with oversight, like they do with all the other national government projects by the ministries and state agencies. Honorable Speaker, in the context of this report processed by my committee, I wish to congratulate the people of Vihiga, Amisi, Emuhaya, Sambatia, and Luanda for the good projects they implemented. Live examples of the projects which are testimonies of the good work include St. Ursula Chamakanga Girls High School in Sambatia, Chebutulu Police Post in Amisi, Kilingili Secondary School in Emuhaya, Ekwanda Secondary School in Luanda, among many other projects. Honorable Speaker, I support the sentiments made during the debate that our county governments should do benchmarking like what Kisumu has done today and emulate NGCDA policies in the implementation of their programs. Honorable Speaker, CNDA projects are the only projects which are fairly and equitably distributed across the country. They are well implemented on time, benefits the poor and the vulnerable, and reaches the most remote villages in Kenya. Last but not least, Mr. Speaker, I propose that CNDF should be expanded to include other development programs like electricity, agriculture, water, roads, among others, in order to benefit all the communities in Kenya. Finally, Mr. Speaker, I thank the members for their contributions and support, and you in particular for scheduling and facilitating the debate. With those remarks, Honorable Speaker, I beg to reply. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Mulungi. Members on their feet, take your seats. Order. Order, members on your feet, take your seats. Thank you. I now put the question at order number 8, which is that this House adopts the report of the Decentralized Funds Accounts Committee on its consideration of the reports of the Auditor General on the financial statements for the National Government Constituencies Development Fund for 5 constituencies in Vihiga County for financial year 2013, 2014, 2014, 2015, and 2015, 2016, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 14th February 2024. As members of that opinion say aye, will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 12, Committee of the Whole House.
Order, honorable members, will you be upstanding?
Other members, honorable members, we are now in the Committee of the Whole for the consideration of the National Government Administration Laws Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 73 of 2023.
Provisions relating to the Assumption of Office of the President Act 2012.
I propose the question that the provisions relating to the Assumption of the Office of the President Act 2012 be amended as proposed.
Section 52CA.
Mover. That is the chairperson, Justice and Legal Affairs.
Thank you very much. The chairperson of the committee, allow me to move that Section 52CA be amended as shown on the order paper. The justification is this: the Office of the National Security Advisor is not a statutory office, and therefore we have had to remove that member from sitting as a member of the Assumption of the President Committee.
Thank you. I therefore, let me see, if there is anyone interested in this debate, kindly put intervention. If not, I will put the question. I will propose the question that Section 52CA be amended as proposed by the Chair JLAC. I therefore put the question that Section 52CA be amended as proposed by the Chair JLAC. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. There was another proposed amendment by the Chair, Administration and Internal Security, Honorable Tongoyo. The import of the passing of Honorable Murugara's amendment is that falls automatically.
Section 52CB and R.
This one have no amendment. I will therefore propose the question that provisions relating to the Assumption of the Office of the President Act 2012 be amended as proposed. I propose the question that Section 52CB and R be amended as proposed in the bill. There is no amendment. I therefore put the question that Sections 52CB and R be amended as proposed in the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New sections 5, 2, 3, and 4.
Mover, kindly move the second reading of the new section.
Thank you, Chairperson. I do move that the proposed amendment be read a second time. The justification is that we have to regularize the membership of the Assumption of the Office of the President Committee in line with the current provisions of law and allow broader representation of the President-elect in the membership of the committee.
I therefore propose the question that new section 5, 2, 3, and 4 be read a second time. Yes. There being no interest, I will put the question that the new section 5, 2, 3, and 4 be now read a second time. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I therefore put the global question that section 5, 2, 3, and 4 be part of the bill. I now put the question that section 5, 2, 3, and 4 be part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Again, as earlier, the proposal by Honorable Tongoyo was similar to Honorable Murugara's, so that one falls automatically.
New section 8.2.
Mover? Yes. To move second reading.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. I beg to move that section 8.2 of the bill be read a second time. What we are doing here is purely to delete the words 3 and substitute therefore the word 6. And the justification is just what I have given, that the President-elect may have a greater say in the Committee on Assumption of Office.
Thank you. I therefore propose the question that new section 8.2 be read a second time. I now put the question that new section 8.2 be now read a second time. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I now propose the question that new section 8.2 be part of the bill. I now put the question that section 8.2 be part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Provisions relating to the National Security Council Act 2012.
I propose the question that the provisions relating to the National Security Council Act 2012 be amended as proposed.
Section 2.
Mover, move the amendment.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. I beg to move that the proposed amendment to Section 2 be read a second time. The justification is that we have to ensure that there is conformity of the proposals in the bill with the Article 240 of the Constitution, which establishes the National Security Council.
Wait, Honorable Murugara. What did you move?
Section 2.
It is the National Security Council Act.
Yes.
Section 2.
Section 2, which is to define committee and also define the National Security Advisor.
Murugara, please confirm, because Section 2 is a deletion. It is not moving for a second time. By the order paper is a deletion.
Yes, that we actually delete Section 2. We delete Section 2 of the proposed amendment. The bill has a Section 2. The proposal is we actually delete that Section 2. Yes, so that we can conform with the provisions of Article 240 of the Constitution, such that we are now entirely removing the new provisions to provide for the committee and the National Security Advisor, which are the sections that will follow.
Well, I then propose the question that Section 2 be deleted as proposed by the mover. Honorable Raso.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I stand to support this amendment. I think in the principle suggested bill was to define the committee and the National Security Advisor. And in the context, this was in violation of Article 240 of our Constitution. For that reason, if it is then declined by the committee, it means in the substantive, then it falls. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Rasso. Majority Leader.
Chair, I also rise to support, and Honorable Chair, as I support, I just wanted clarity from the Chair. Affected by that deletion of Section 2, or the Section 5 now will remain as it were in the Principal Act.
Majority Leader, we have actually a proposed deletion for
yes,
5.
of Section 2.
For even 5.
Or even 5.
So hold on, yeah. It will be a next.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I had not had Section 5. I was going to ask 5 and 7.
We prosecute one by one.
Deleted together.
Yeah, so
Thank
we
you.
are doing 2. We are not doing them together because it's a decision of the House. They can decide to keep one. I said, honorable members, use your cards.
I don't remember which house I took my rest last night, so I'm trying to find out where I left
Always
my
keep
card.
them in the Mikai's house, Honorable Kajwa.
I'm trying. I will know where my card was left. But Mr. Chair, we just want guidance so that we understand. You see, Section 2 of the Principal Act has many other things which was proposed in the bill. So maybe the chair of JLAC should tell us, because you see.
Honorable Kajwang, just to tell you, we are deleting what is in the bill, not the parent.
Yeah, I'm saying so in the bill is proposing several definitions which will affect the parent act. So, for example, there is that word committee, meaning the something in Section 5 and 7. So, what he does it affect? Is it limited only to the definition of that committee, or does it go to National Security Advisor, so that we just read to know? Let him help us to understand where he is, so that we can make informed debates on every single point that he is raising. Yeah, so if he is talking about everything, let us know. If he's only talking about specific definitions, because we are entitled to discuss each of those definitions as they arise.
Honorable Kajwang, I hope Honorable Murugara, you are listening so that you can respond. But I want to guide the House that the proposed amendments or deletions have been separated per section. So we will have you move a deletion of Section 2, then you get to Section 5, then you get to Section 7, one by one. So now we are prosecuting Section 2, the deletion of Section 2. Would you respond to the concerns raised by the Honorable Member for Ruaraka?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. If Honorable TJ would have checked, there are only 2 proposed amendments in Section 2, which are 2 definitions of the word committee and the National Security Advisor. And the proposal is that we delete the whole of that, because wherever they appears below, we are also deleting the following sections, so they will not apply in any law that we are going to pass.
All right, honorable members, I therefore put the question that Section 2 be deleted as proposed by the chair, JLAC. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. The import of that is that Honorable Tongoyo's amendment again falls.
Section 5.
Mover, move the proposal.
Thank you. Chairperson, I beg to move that Section 5 be amended as shown on the order paper, which is a proposal that we delete the entire Section 5 with its subsections. And again, This is to align this proposed bill with Article 240 of the Constitution. It was the feeling of the committee that some of these members being introduced here cannot sit in any National Security Committee or even council, because the article is clear on the composition of the National Security Council.
I therefore propose the question that Section 5 be deleted as proposed by the chair. I therefore put the question that Section 5 be deleted as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Section 7.
Mover. Madam Chairperson, I beg to move that Section 7 be amended as shown on the order paper, which is a proposal that that section be deleted. The reason we do so is that the National Security Advisor is actually not a statutory office, is not recognized, and therefore that person cannot sit in the National Security Council under Article 240 of the Constitution, and we did not wish to do anything that is unconstitutional.
I therefore propose the question that Section 7 be deleted as proposed by the chair, JLAC. I therefore put the question that Section 7 be deleted as proposed by the chair, JLAC. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I will then put the global question that the provisions relating to the National Security Council Act be deleted from the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Office of the Attorney General, 2012.
I propose the question that the provisions relating to the Office of the Attorney General, Act 2012, be amended as proposed. Section.
Yes.
Section 28.
Mover.
Thank you. Madam Chairperson, I beg to move that Section 28 of the Office of the Attorney General Act be amended as shown on the order paper, which is a proposal that the proposed deletion be deleted. That is, it remains as it is, and the justification is that the committee was not provided with a satisfactory justification for transferring the public seal from the custody of the Attorney General to the head of public service. So that is why we are saying delete what is proposed, it remains as it is.
Thank you. I therefore propose the question that Section 28 be deleted as proposed by the chair, JLAC. Member for Seme.
Chair, rise to support this deletion. This is actually a very major part of our law, and just to remove it, and as the committee says, they were not provided with adequate explanation. I think the committee has done the right thing. Let's delete it. I support.
Majority Leader.
Chair, I also rise to support and thank the committee for that deletion. And Chair, you notice in the Commonwealth, almost all Commonwealth countries, in fact, all Commonwealth countries, the official seal is vested in the Office of the Attorney General. And this is because largely this office is seen to be a political office. And therefore, even in terms of transition, there are no issues as to who is holding the public seal. And therefore, thank the committee and support.
Member for Saku.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, I beg to support this particular amendment. The Attorney General is the state legal officer. And when anybody sues the government, actually they sue the Attorney General. So for that reason, transferring the seal, I think, was misplaced. And I thank the committee for rejecting it. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Kajwang.
Madam Chair, you know the Constitution says for anything to be legal and constitutional, done by the executive, it has to be written. Now, if you place the seal, that the Constitution says that the presidency can make anything legal by way of writing. If you place the seal in the same hand of the presidency, what it will mean is that the presidency will decide something, make it in writing, and because he has the seal, it becomes law, and within the Constitution, it is lawful. The Constitution separated these risks deliberately. That is why you have to run to the office of the Attorney General and bring that Attorney General and put him together with the written information from the presidency to make that information be legal. To concentrate that power in one hand would be a very big risk. And that is why I support the fact that even in a bank, you have to have 3 people, a sweeper perhaps, and a bank manager to be able to open the safe. So let the safe stay in Attorney General's office. You have to go to Arambe office and bring in the player from the Attorney General's office in order to have the seal and in order to have that written information be legal. I support.
Member for Marakwet West.
Honorable Chair, I take the cue of my colleagues to support this progressive amendment. Honorable Chair, the Attorney General is the chief legal principal advisor of the government and therefore the custodian of all legal instruments. And therefore, Chair, I support the amendment to the effect that it be deleted, the seal remains with the office of the Attorney General.
Finally, on this, member for Kirinyaga.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I beg to support. Honorable Chair, governments exist in perpetuity. It is therefore in order to have the seal in custody of the Attorney General. Honorable Chair, having it in the office of the President would create a clear conflict of interest. Thank you.
I therefore put the question that section 28 be deleted as proposed by the Chair Jailak. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I therefore put the global question that the provisions relating to the Office of the Attorney General Act 2012 be deleted from the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Yes, the import is the same. The proposed amendments by Honorable Tongoyo falls because they were similar with Honorable Murugaras.
Provisions relating to the National Government Coordination Act 2013.
I propose the question that provisions relating to the National Government Coordination Act 2013 be amended as proposed.
Sections 2, 8, and new 12A.
Mover, kindly move.
I beg to move that the National Government Coordination Act 2013 be amended in sections 2, 7, and 8 as shown on the order paper. The purport of the proposed amendment is to amend the provisions governing the nature, functions, and qualifications applicable to the post of the head of public service. Under this amendment, the head of public service is established in the executive office of the President. The order of the office is to be recommended by the Public Service Commission for appointment by the President. It's also to assign the head of public service the role of the chief of staff to the President in the executive office of the President. And also, further, the amendment saves and translates the rights and legitimate expectations of the person who was appointed as the head of public service by the President before passage of provisions proposed in the bill. And this is the reason why we have the last section preserving that office and translating it. So I beg to move.
I therefore propose the question that section 2, 8, and new 12A be amended as proposed by the Chair JLAC. Member for Kibwezi West.
Thank you. The amendments that have been proposed by our committee, the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee, and the justification thereof. And Madam Speaker, I think it is important as members contribute to this also to look at the Principal Act, the National Government Coordination Act. And when you look at the objective clause, Section 3 of the National Government Coordination Act, the object of the act was to facilitate the exercise of the powers of the President that are given under Article 130, 131 of the Constitution. And so that those functions are properly coordinated, there is need for this amendment so that the Executive Office of the President is given an administrative head, who is now the head of public service and chief of staff, so that the President is assisted in terms of executing the functions and the authority that is assigned to the President under the Constitution. I think that is important. And in fact, as we also ventilate about it, if you look at the historical where we are coming from, even after the 2010 Constitution, there has not been a government after 2010 that has never had this office. And the office has existed at the whim of the President. And I find it very progressive that Parliament is now making it statutory, that it is no longer existing at the whim of the President. It is existing under a law, and there is a procedure for appointment, there are qualifications, and the extent of that office interacting with other officers is actually defined in law, so that a person is not given an office and it becomes a law unto themselves just because of the proximity to the head of state. I beg to support.
I therefore put the question that section 2, 8, and new 12A be amended as proposed by the mover. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. The import of that amendment is that before I give the import, Honorable Kajwang, take your seat. You are now becoming disorderly. I've indulged you. You don't even have your card. Kindly take your seat. I have already put the question. I will now put the global question that the provisions relating to the National Government Coordination Act 2013 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. The import of that amendment is that the proposed amendment by Honorable Tongoyo falls because it was similar to Honorable Morugara's.
We have a new section. New section 7.2.
Mover, please move the amendment to new section 7.2.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chairperson. I move that the new section 7.2 be amended as shown on the order paper, and we've given the justification.
Chair, you're supposed to move second reading. You're supposed, because it's a new, it is a, yes. You're supposed to move second reading.
Yes.
There is nothing possibly out of order when the mover is moving. Honorable Kajwang, you're being disorderly. Continue, Honorable Morugara.
May I move that the new section 7.2 proposed to be read a second time. Again, the justification is what we have actually given as regards these offices.
I therefore propose the question that new section 7.2 be read a second time. I will hear member for Kibwezi West. I'm looking at my board. Honorable Raso.
Honorable Chair, this is a sister clause to the one that we had ventilated before, and therefore my contribution to the same is similar to what we have said before, because it is just defining what the head of public service will mean in law.
I therefore put the question that new section 7.2 be now read a second time. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I therefore propose the question that new section 7.2 be part of the bill. Member. You're being disorderly, Honorable Kajwang. I said you take your seat, and you have actually stood all that time. I will tell you again, take your seat, Honorable Kajwang. Allow me to propose again that new section 7.2 be part of the bill. I put the question that new section 7.2 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. There. I will first of all put the global question that the provisions relating to the National Government Coordination Act 2013 be amended as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 2. Clause 2.
Allow me to propose the question. I propose the question that provision, that clause 2 be amended as proposed by the chair. Be in your place, Honorable Millie. You are actually becoming disorderly. Honorable Millie, you are becoming disorderly. Honorable Millie, I had not even gotten to you. You have become disorderly and you have come to shout at the chair. It is disorderly. Order, members. I put the question that clause 2 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Title.
I put the question that the title be the title of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Go on.
Clause 2. Clause 1, sorry.
I put the question that clause 1 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion? I put the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Order, members. Order, members. We are done with the committee of the whole. I will ask the mover to move reporting. Move reporting.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the National Government Administration Laws Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 73 of 2023, and its approval thereof with amendments.
I therefore put the question, which is that committee do report to the House its consideration of the National Government Administration Laws Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 73 of 2023, and its approval thereof with amendments. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Does the chairperson want to move reporting? Chairperson to move reporting.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the National Government Administration Laws Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 73 of 2023, and approved the same with amendments.
The mover to move agreement with the report.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee in the said report, and also request the Honorable Njeri Maina, the very calm Njeri Maina, to second the motion for agreement with the report of the Committee of the Whole House.
The Honorable Njeri Maina.
Calm.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, you know, Millie Odhiambo is a very good senior lawyer, and I am wondering what is happening on the floor of Parliament, because we are here to learn as young members. Honorable Speaker, I hereby second.
The Honorable Njeri Maina, you are standing and you have the mic for some specific purpose. Could you go to it?
That is where I was, Honorable Speaker.
Yeah, please.
Honorable Speaker, I hereby second. Thank you.
Yeah, honorable members, I propose the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. Did I hear the Honorable TJ Kajong? Yes.
Mr. Speaker, sir, may I plead that the motion be amended to say that subject to a recommittal on the amendments to the National Government Coordination Act 2013, number 1, 2013, specifically on Section 2, Section 7, and Section 8. Mr. Speaker, we came here to debate. We are national leaders who are representative of the National Assembly. We came here with an open mind to be able to give our views, whether they are views of majority or minority. Of course, the minority will take the day, but the minority will have the say. The manner in which the amendments were brought were together. It became as a suit. Mr. Speaker, it came as a suit that the mover or the chair was allowed to move Section 2, Section 7, and Section 8. While some of us have no views, adverse views against Section 2, some of us could have opinions on Section 7. And some of us also could have Section 8. All we are asking is that they should be separated and debated differently. So that Section 2, which concerns the CAS, I also want to be a CAS one day, and I accept that. But Section 7 and Section 8, I have a problem of concentrating powers in the office of the civil service at the same time being the chief of staff. Because these things are different rubrics, and they are unconstitutional. We pass them today, they will come back to us. Because one person goes through the rigors of head of service, another person is a mutu wa mkono for the president. Head chief of staff is somebody that the president will appoint. So how do we oversight as a house? How do we oversight a chief of staff who has been brought by the chair? So this is the point I'm making, that could we recommit this to the House in committee so that we can debate it, whether we are minority or whether we are majority. Let the majority have it, but let minority be heard. Thank you.
Yeah, Honorable Kajwang, as I give the other members opportunity to speak to the matter that you are raising, because I've proposed the question, you are an old member of the House. I wanted to request you to approach the clerks so that if you indeed intend to recommit, you are fully compliant with the standing order provisions on recommittal. And I don't think that should be a problem. If you want to recommit, decisions of the House ultimately are made on the vote, isn't it? Honorable Millie Odhiambo.
Thank you. I can see Honorable Ichungwa trying to intimidate me. But I am unintimidatable. But having said that, Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I also want to thank you for following House procedure. And I want to thank the whip of the majority for even doing a good job of whipping members so that they do what they should be doing on the floor of the House, which is defeating us by numbers. But that can never, ever take away my right of representation. Mr. Speaker, what has happened earlier on is actually shameful in a democratic country. You cannot deny members a chance to speak to a bill. And Mr. Speaker, the majority is lucky that they have actually, I'm not that passionate about this bill. But should somebody want to go to court on this bill, I want it to go on record that we were denied a chance to speak, not vote, to speak to this bill. Using, and I'm on a point of order, using and following procedure. I have put my card. Honorable TJ was denied because he didn't have a card. I have a card. I put my card. I put both intervention and a chance to speak. Moderated, Mr. Speaker, the Madam Speaker has refused to give me a chance. And that's why I'm telling her she's my friend, but today she has embarrassed me. There is so much or so far we can go as a majority. Even when you have the numbers, use it by following what is provided constitutionally. You can't deny me a chance to speak. And I was telling Honorable Ichungwa what some of the members from his own side are saying quietly. That is very dictatorial and it denies members a chance to speak. Let members in this house be members. They are very intelligent members who have degrees here. But you are making people look here like vegetables. They cannot contribute in this house. What are we making this parliament? This parliament is becoming a joke of a house. That's why some of us hardly are in this house. Let this house be a house of debate and representation and oversight. So you can't make members come here and you make us look like flower girls. We refuse to be flower girls and we refuse to be intimidated. When I am here and I've come here to contribute, let me contribute when I've actually put my button to speak.
Know.
This is a joke.
You are going
Don't make this parliament a joke.
You will. Yes. Honorable Millie Odhiambo, your time has lapsed. Honorable Millie Odhiambo, your time has lapsed. Majority Leader, I did not give you opportunity because Honorable Millie Odhiambo was on a point of order. Those other few things you wanted to stand on a point of order on, by way of leadership, we can still deal with them under our standing orders. I want now, so that we make progress, order. We want to make progress. And the way to make progress is to allow Honorable Kajwang move the recommittal under the standing orders. We take a decision on it and we proceed. Honorable TJ Kajwang.
Mr. Speaker, sir.
Would the majority leader approach the speaker in the meantime?
Mr.
Proceed.
Speaker, sir. I beg to move that the motion for agreement with the report of the Committee of the Whole House be amended by inserting the words, subject to recommittal of the provisions relating to National Government Coordination Act. I also request Honorable Nyikal to second.
Honorable Nyikal, give Honorable Nyikal the mic.
I second.
Yes, so honorable members, I now propose the question, which is that the motion for agreement with the report of the Committee of the Whole House be amended by inserting the words, subject to recommittal of the provisions relating to the National Government Coordination Act. Will as many as, no, I've proposed the question. So I will allow some contribution. The Honorable TJ Kajwang, did I hear you to seek recommittal of the whole act? Or you are particular to particular clauses? No, it's not debating. It's not debating. You can see I'm being assisted by the systems. I want to be sure, Honorable Baya, Honorable Kajwang, I want to be sure about what we are subjecting for deliberations by the House, for the House's consideration. So I'm asking whether it was a recommittal of the whole report and the whole bill, or it was to specific sections. Could you give us that clarification? Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I want to be fair to the House. I also want to be fair to the majority leader who has this bill. And I want to be fair to the office of the Speaker. I am requesting recommittal only to provisions that relate to Section 2, Section 7.2, and Section 8. That is very clear. Honorable Bayer, we have been in this house
You
for a very
said
long
Section
time.
2?
We are old people. We can't mislead.
You said Section 2?
Section 2, Section 7, subsection 2, and Section 8. And Section 8. And yes, and Section 8.
And now for clean records, would you move for recommittal again specific to those clauses?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the motion for agreement with the report of the committee of the whole House be amended by inserting the words subject to recommittal of the provision of the National Government Coordination Act 2013, number 1 of 2013, specifically Section 2, Section 7, subsection 2, and Sections 8 as proposed. Thank you.
Who is seconding?
I ask Honorable
Nyikal, you can now second.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I second this, but we really must understand what we have come for. It is important that issues are debated, particularly important issues. To use the House to block is actually unfair. Now, what has happened now is what is important.
You're seconding.
I'm seconding, and I'm saying why I'm seconding. And it is important that in this House, we discuss what has happened now is what is important. Members who have been whipped to come in now have a chance to understand, to contribute. It does not matter which way they will vote. But when these things are passed here, when even then they're questioned, when we go to the public, people ask us, were you there? Did you follow? You know, some of us have even said, I didn't read. That is why I second, so that we have a chance to debate this. I second.
Honorable Member, now that we are proceeding with clarity, allow me to propose the question afresh. I propose the question, which is that the motion for agreement with the report of the Committee of the Whole House be amended by inserting the words subject to recommittal of Clause 2, Clause 7, Subclause 2, and Clause 8 of the National Government Coordination Amendment. It's the National Government Administration Laws Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 73 of 2023. So, do we have interest on this? Honorable Kajuang, I have Honorable Owen Bayer. You want to say something? It is Honorable the Majority Leader.
Yes.
You take precedence. Yes. You take precedence. You don't need to use Honorable Owen Bayer to speak.
You know, I dropped my card as I rushed back after mobilizing a team to come back, Honorable Speaker. But thank you for indulgence. Honorable Speaker, I object to that recommittal. Honorable Speaker, and therefore would beg that you just put the question. There was absolutely no reason to recommit that clause, and I know the issues that Honorable TJ Kajuang had consulted me over. We had discussed that there are issues that can be addressed later with the kind of segregation he had desired. And since he's a member of the Committee of JLAC that considered this bill, is among the issues that would also have been considered by the committee at the committee stage, Honorable Speaker. And it's also not true, Honorable Speaker, that members have not had an opportunity to debate this particular bill. we are not in second reading. We're in the third reading of this bill, Committee of the Whole, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, members, including my good friend, the Honorable Millie, had an opportunity to debate all the clauses and all the provisions of this particular bill. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, we should not sit here as elected members of Parliament to listen to people telling us that they will go to court. Courts are open every day for people to go walk to court and do whatever you want to do in court. But when you are elected as a legislator, you come to the House at the right time, at the appointed time, at 2:30 p.m., like the Honorable Nyikal does every day, or the Honorable Kajuang. They are always here at 2:30. I was with the Honorable Kajuang here at noon for the House Business Committee. But a member cannot walk into the chamber at 5 p.m., demand to speak, then go on a tantrum, Honorable Speaker, throwing epithets at even the person of the Speaker, Honorable Speaker, including going to the extent against our own standing order number 87, to attempt to discuss the person of the Speaker or someone chairing the Committee of the Whole House as a Speaker, Honorable Chair, as a chair of a committee. Honorable Speaker, I know the Honorable Millie may not want to hear this, but young members like the Honorable Njeri Minor from Kirinyaga, who is calm and willing to learn from older members, ought to see more and better maturity from the older members. And I would really beg the Honorable Millie next time to exhibit the kind of maturity expected of her as a grandmother of the House, Honorable Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And I oppose this particular recommittal and urge the entire House to oppose the recommittal.
The Honorable TJ Kajuang, I doubt you can contribute having moved recommittal. Did I hear the Honorable Mishimboko to say she wants to say something to this? The Honorable Naomi Wako. Okay. The Honorable, this is Fatuma.
In case you forgot the second name. You forgot my second name is Fatuma Full Network.
No,
MP Migori County.
that-
Am I the one you're referring to, Mr. Speaker?
Honorable Member, would you state your correct names?
My name is Fatuma Zainab Mohammed Full Network. Do you have a problem with the
Is
name,
Full
Mr. Speaker?
Network your name known
Yes,
by
it's
the
my
House?
name. It's my name, Mr. Speaker.
It will be confirmed, you can proceed.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, I only have one concern. All through, I've been sitting in this House as we went into the Committee of the Whole House. And I want to be very honest with you. There is no single bill that I had even what was read, because it was in a rush and there were members shouting and the bills were passed. And so I'm wondering, as a member of Migori County, if I happen to meet this bill, what will I say? I am speaking out of honesty, and I can swear to it, wallahi billahi. There's nothing that I had, and I'm not the only one who didn't hear. I didn't even want to contribute, but I wanted to hear what is being read. What I'm trying to say, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Ichungwa, just to be a man, men don't shout back at women. Please smile and look at me as I
Honorable
speak.
Fatuma,
Mr.
you
Speaker.
always address the Speaker and you keep to the standing orders in terms of relevance. You are addressing recommittal proposed by Honorable Kajuang. You are not addressing the majority leader. And the majority leader, for purposes of decorum in the House, is Honorable Ichungwa, not Mr. Ichungwa.
Sorry, Honorable Ichungwa, I'm sorry about that. Through the Speaker, please accept my apology. Still, you are a minister because you are a decent man anyway. But my point is this, Mr. Speaker. I am a first timer, and I sit in this House so that I learn. What I have learned today, if I was to walk outside and tell my people in Migori County about the bills that are passed in the House, I would say the bills are read and the majority say yes. What was read, I don't know, and I'm not the only one who doesn't know. Please, Mr. Speaker, may we behave in a manner that wananchi expect us. Mr. Speaker, we are being attacked outside, and today I was attacked on a television, national television, when I was being told that we don't speak in...
Honorable Speaker, on Standing Order 87 again, The honorable member for Migori is right in her place to stand and say that she is a new member and she ought to learn. And that is why those of us like myself and the Honorable Millie who have been here long enough and Honorable Kajwang, we have a duty to guide these new members. And the member for Migori was to speak on the recommittal by the Honorable TJ Kajwang. What I have listened to her saying, she is not speaking to the recommittal, she is telling the people of Migori that she does not know what is happening in the house. And you know, you cannot stand in the house and announce to the people who voted for you that you do not know what is going on. They voted for you because they believed you are the best, among us the best in Migori. Therefore, I would guide you, the member for Migori. Please do not tell the people of Migori that a bill was read, you do not know. They expected you to read, understand, contribute, propose amendments. You have not done that. Please do not exhibit that kind of... Honorable Speaker, I would really beg the member for Migori to contribute to the recommittal by the Honorable TJ Kajwang and not exhibit what she was exhibiting to the people of Migori.
Thank you, Majority Leader. Honorable Fatuma, you have 1 minute to conclude.
Mr. Speaker, I stood on a point of order and I did not even put my card. Mr. Ichungwa, I went to school, and for your information, I even went to a school in Italy. You studied locally. I did not say that I do not know what's happening. I only said, and you are part, Mr. Speaker, Honorable Ichungwa is part of the problem, that when the bill was being read, he was shouting here, and I could not even hear what was being said. But don't come here to intimidate me. You represent one constituency. I represent 8 constituencies. You are a minor to me.
The time for Fatuma is up. Order. You know, Honorable Millie, because she's been here along with the Majority Leader, has invented a mode of contribution in the House which is not known to the standing orders. I saw her dance at the Majority Leader. That is a mode of debate only known to the two of you, and it can only be outside the House. Don't do it here again. Honorable members, permit me to now put the question, which is that the motion for agreement with the report of the Committee of the Whole House be amended by inserting the words, subject to recommittal of the provisions of sections 2, section 7, subsection 2, and section 8 of the National Government Coordination Act. Will as many as are that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? Nay. The nays have it. Order. Order, honorable members. Order. Order. Honorable members, we revert to reporting, and I now put the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. Nay. The ayes have it. Mover.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the national...
Mover to move third.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the National Government Administration Laws Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 73.
Order, Majority Leader, the Honorable TJ Kajwang and the Honorable Millie Odhiambo, you cannot call for division when only two of you are standing. Yes.
Honorable Speaker,
Yeah, we can
I was
see.
standing
So notably, even including the majority leader, you don't meet the number required by the standing orders to force division.
And you
so
know,
let
thank you,
the
Honorable
mover move the third reading.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and you know I am never confused. So I can never have been standing for division or standing to move for third reading, which I now do, and I beg to move that the National Government Administration Laws Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 73 of 2023, be now read a third time, and I also request the Honorable Pauline Lenguris, the member for Samburu, to second.
Give her the mic.
Thank you, Majority Leader. I second.
Did I hear Honorable Millie
Thank
say
you,
you
Mr.
are the
Speaker.
majority leader?
I second.
Order, honorable members. Honorable members, allow me to propose the question, which is that the National Government Administration Laws Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 73 of 2023, be now read a third time. Yes, Honorable Tom Joseph Francis Kajwang, on this one you can be at.
Mr. Speaker, sometimes being in this House for a period of time arms people with experience. You see, in a very short while, Mr. Speaker, you have brought laughter into this House, and the temperatures have cooled. But just before you came in, we had members who I think should be here for a third time, so that when they become chair of committees, they know exactly how to handle committees. But
Honorable TJ Kajwang,
Mr. Speaker,
you cannot discuss the chair or the presiding officer before a speaker without a substantive motion. You even put the speaker in a very awkward position, you understand? So could you deal with the debate absent that?
I withdraw those statements. But Mr. Speaker, this will haunt us. It will come back to us someday. I'm not going to go to court. I'm no longer a lawyer. I'm a legislator. This is my place to say things, and things must be done here. And so I must not threaten anybody about court of law. Those court of law will take their chance. But Mr. Speaker, you know, this is still going to another house. The point we are making is a very simple one. Mr. Speaker, to join the head of service at the same time to be the chief of staff are two different nomenclature. One is a public officer that we oversight because he is the head of service. But the other is an appointee of the president who at best is a minister. He's a minister. If you go to all the Commonwealth, a chief of staff is almost as a minister. A president decides who becomes, in fact, this is a person who actually can go to the kitchen of the president. And is allowed worldwide to take his most loyal person to be the chief of staff. But the head of civil service is another matter. He need not be the person who is most loyal to the president. He need to be a person who is loyal to the country, so that we can oversight him. These are issues, big issues, which will still come back. Other people will interpret it. Maybe the courts of law, I do not know. Maybe the Obutatas will take these things to the court of law, I don't know. But I can tell you that this is unconstitutional to the extent that it is mixing public service and the chief of staff. It is very unconstitutional. But because the majority have said so, so be it. But the record will show that on this day, TJ Kajwang stood on his place and said that this is unconstitutional. And I am sure the person who is the head of civil service, who is also the chief of staff, is watching this. He may push it for all I care, but it is still unconstitutional. Unconstitutional. Thank you, Chair.
The Honorable Millie Grace Akoth Odhiambo Mbona, the MP for Suba North.
Mr. Speaker, for giving me this chance. Mr. Speaker, I just want to thank Honorable Kajwang for what is indicated. Our concern is that when you are a member of parliament, you must be heard, because that is our representation role. And one of the things that I wanted to say earlier to the bill is the issue of unconstitutionality of some of the issues that are being raised. And I know we don't have the numbers, so Honorable Ichungwa could have easily raised his members to defeat, but having had a chance for us to speak. And I'm hoping the majority side can take cognizance of the things that we are saying for purposes of human rights and good governance. And Mr. Speaker, I just want to say that I am proudly serving as a third member, a third term elected. If you add as nominated, I'm serving my fourth term. So I'm very familiar with when the real business of the House is. And especially because of the jokes we've been having here, I don't come for the time of any other business. I come to the House when we deal with real issues, legislation that affects lives. And that's why, Mr. Speaker, I was here in time to deal with this issue. So I just want to encourage my loving sister Njeri, please learn from me. I am serving my third term, senior most woman member of parliament. Honorable Chungwa, please underline that. And as my sister is learning from me, she will come back 3-4 times and even become governor because she's learning at my feet. But if you follow somebody like Chungwa, who I'm told has not gone to Italy to study, you will fail miserably. So please, follow the Honorable Millie Odhiambo of this House, who can do excellent work. And I just want to tell Honorable Ichungwa that I actually won. Even having called the former president names, they still recognize my sterling work in this House for the work that I've done, and the work I continue to do, and the work I will continue to do. This you cannot take away from me. Sharp to the core. Thank you. I don't support.
The Honorable Millie Odhiambo, the only thing you forgot today was to remind Honorable Ichungwa that you are with the president in school at the same time. Honorable members, allow me now to put the question. I've confirmed we have the necessary quorum to dispose of this. And I therefore put the question, which is that the National Government Administration Laws Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 73 of 2023, be now read a third time. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to make various amendments to statute law on national government administration and for connected purposes.
Next order.
Order number 13, the National Land Commission Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 43 of 2023, second reading.
Yes, Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I again rise on standing order number 87. Because, Honorable Speaker, as was being canvassed by the Honorable Millie, those of us that have been here long enough have a duty of care to those who are new. And it is not fair, Honorable Speaker, if you can protect me from that noise.
Order. Those members who are engaging in other national duties outside the House can leave quietly.
It is a member for Soy.
They can leave quietly. Those members, the Honorable Ngeleche, I know you are busy with some other parliamentary duties outside of the plenary. You may leave quietly so that the majority leader can be heard in silence.
Honorable Speaker, I was saying, and you've rightly put it, when the Honorable TJ attempted to take that route of discussing the conduct of a chair of a committee of the whole who is sitting in on behalf of the Speaker. But Honorable Speaker, during the committee of the whole, the Honorable Millie Odhiambo attempted to do the same, to not only discuss the conduct of the person, of the chairperson, but to throw epithets at the person who was chairing the committee of the whole. And I want to agree with Honorable Millie that the likes of the Honorable Njeri have a lot to learn from those of us who are older here, and therefore we must not leave it to pass. And we must, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Millie Odhiambo, allow the Speaker to listen to the majority leader. Well, if you have something to say, you will surely have your chance to do so. Let us debate and let us listen.
Honorable Speaker, I was saying because the chair of the committee at the time even tried to...
Honorable Millie, the Honorable Majority Leader is on a point of order. And I can assure you, you risk being declared disorderly.
Honorable Speaker, you will indulge the Honorable Millie for obvious reasons. You had her call the only Pauline Lenguris, the majority leader, and said you will notice as she walks out that she's really the majority. And Millie also danced on the floor of the House, only that we never liked her dance because there was nothing majority in her dance. There was only minority in her dance. But Honorable Speaker, on a more serious issue, the issue of discussing the person of the chairperson of that of the Speaker, you cannot do that without bringing a substantive motion to the floor of the House. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, I wanted to beg you that you do find the Honorable Millie Odhiambo to have been completely out of order, so that those of us who are new in this House do not take it for granted that you can rise in your place, shout, throw epithets at the person of the Speaker, of the chairperson of a committee, even committees, departmental committees and our select committees when they are sitting. When a person, even a fellow member is chairing that committee, is doing that on behalf of the Speaker. And therefore need to carry ourselves with the dignity and respect that we demand to be given to us as honorable members of Parliament. If you want to be respected as a member, you must also respect that person who is chairing the House, either as a chairperson of the committee of the whole or as Speaker. Honorable Speaker, that is why you see many of us refrain ourselves from saying things that we would otherwise want to say to even fellow members, Honorable Speaker, including Millie Odhiambo, who is my very good friend. There are certain things I would have said about her, but I can never say them on record because I respect her as an honorable member, but I expect her to equally respect whoever is chairing the committee of the whole or whoever is chairing the House as a temporary Speaker, Honorable Speaker. And therefore want you to find that the Honorable Millie Odhiambo was grossly out of order.
Simama mwenyewe, simama. Fungua macho. Fungua macho mwenyewe. Fungua macho mwenyewe. Fungua macho. Usiogope, fungua macho. Hatumchapa, fungua macho. Nani amekuleta?
We dignify the House by being honorable members, Honorable Speaker, and I really want to beg that moving forward, even the Honorable Millie Odhiambo will allow the 20 years of experience that she has gained in this House to be a member in good standing even with fellow members, so that the member for Migori, the member for Busia, the member for Kirinyaga can learn from, Millie today is the grandmother of the House. She's the oldest female member of the House. She is the grandmother of the House. Honorable Keinan is the grandfather of the House today, but he carries himself with the dignity befitting a grandfather of the House. I therefore really want to beg the Honorable Millie. I know there are moments of humor, but also that should come with some dignity to the House and to herself as the grandmother of the House, or what is popularly called shosh in the parlance out there. And she is indeed the shosh of the House, but I want to beg her to also dignify that position of a ranking member of the House and the grandmother of the House. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Millie, you certainly don't need to raise on a point of order. You can be sure you have a right to respond, not as a matter of point of order. In fact, I was coming to you. Yeah, but give Honorable Millie the mic. Honorable Millie, would you be limited to confirming what the majority leader said? Because if it goes beyond that, then it would require much more than I would be permitted to do.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it becomes very difficult to confirm what the Speaker, the majority leader was saying, because he said so many things. He talked about another member being the majority leader, and that you will see it when she's walking out. And from where I sit, she is majority leader. You can see it when she's walking out, so I can confirm that. And secondly, he also mentioned, you know, that I'm the shosh of the House. No, I'm not the shosh of the House. I'm the Dani of the House. And I'm very proudly the Dani of the House. I'm not the shosh of the House. But you also mentioned...
Honorable Millie, what is shosh, Dani? What are those?
Shosh.
Make the speaker understand your contribution. I know as a lawyer, sometimes you speak in Latin, but I've not met those in Latin.
Yes. My understanding is shosh is grandmother in Kikuyu. I am just clarifying that I am Dani, which is grandmother in Luo. So I'm not shosh. I am grandmother in Luo. And Dani is also a very fond word because I look like my grandmother, Aringo Meja Nyobiero, Nyamin Captain. So yes, I am Dani of the House. I'm Dani Nyobiero Meja Ringo.
Okay.
So I am okay.
I get you, Honorable
Dani of the
Millie.
House.
Honorable Millie.
But now, can I also confirm the other issue that he raised?
Please, Honorable Millie.
Yes.
Just say it. You remember I stood you up and I limited your response to either confirming what the majority leader raised or denying. So did I hear you to deny?
Mr. Speaker, I have talked about some of the issues.
Because Honorable Millie,
so I am getting to another one.
Honorable Millie,
the third one.
Honorable Millie, get
yes.
If you deny, there is a particular way the Speaker wants to direct we proceed. If you confirm, there is also a particular way the standing orders mandate the Speaker to proceed. So can you take aside so that...
Yes, Mr. Speaker, actually that is what I'm in the process of doing. And you are a lawyer, and if you are even in a court of law, you hardly told yes, no, because you have to explain yourself. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the majority leader for bringing the debate this way. And the reason he's done that is that he's actually anchoring his discussions on democracy and governance principles, meaning we must be heard. When you are not heard, you will use any other means to be heard. Nonetheless, I just want to challenge the majority leader to bring the Hansard and see on record. Tell me what I said on record, because I was never given a chance. No record, please.
Honorable Millie.
No record, give me what I said.
Millie,
on record.
Order. So you deny what the majority leader says. You don't confirm. This is the direction. Honorable Millie, I've understood you. Honorable Millie, that you will withdraw. Withdraw that so that the Speaker can give the appropriate directions on the matter raised by the majority leader. You may not be on record, but you are audibly heard.
And then can I also? Draw it.
Honorable Millie, would you withdraw the word delusional in reference to the member you used the word?
Chair,
in line
you
with the
must
standing orders?
be fair as a lawyer. If I said something on record, I withdraw it on record. If I said it off record, I withdraw it off record.
Honorable Millie, the records bear you saying somebody within the House, a member, is delusional. And I'm saying that word is unparliamentary. Make it easy for the Speaker to preside over the House.
Okay, Chair, I want to replace it with the words that is not entirely truthful.
Just withdraw it. It cannot be used in reference to any member.
No, I've just said it's not entirely truthful. That's very close.
I want the word, and I've directed Honorable Millie, that the word delusional as applied in reference to a member of the House be withdrawn by you.
Chair,
just withdraw it. It does not hurt. Just withdraw it.
Chair, it hurts, but I will withdraw. It hurts thoroughly because I believe it is, but I withdraw. It hurts.
Thank you for withdrawing. Yeah, so honorable members, allow me. Majority leaders raised concerns decorum within the House and the manner in which we should proceed while on the House during debate, whether in the plenary or in the committee of the whole. The difficulty the Speaker finds himself in is that he was not in the House when those matters that the majority leader mentioned were raised. And so the Speaker, now presiding, is not fully informed. These matters were also not part of the report from the Committee of the Whole, which all members present would agree were restricted to the consideration of the bill that was on issue. Now, because of that, we cannot make a firm direction, regrettably, requiring the member accused of having made those actions or conducted themselves in that manner to withdraw or apologize. I want to leave it at that and confirm that because everything that happens in the House is recorded, if it is not reflected in the answered, we have other processes that allow necessary inquiry and establishment of the truth. I would request that if there were any instances of misconduct or behavior that is unparliamentary in the Committee of the Whole as indicated by the majority leader, they took those approaches. And those approaches include our proceeding under the standing orders to name if there can be evidence, or even proceeding under the act governing the immunities and privileges and the code of conduct to which members are bound. So I want to direct that the matter rests because it would be impossible for the Speaker in these circumstances to conclusively determine what truly happened, but leave it open to the majority leader or any other member concerned at how we should behave at one another, or towards one another while debating in this honorable House, to pursue it through those other avenues prescribed under the standing orders. I think I want to leave it at that. We were in the next order. The next order had been called. Who is moving? Yeah, proceed. Proceed, Deputy Majority Leader.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I take the pleasure to move the National Lands Commission Amendment Bill 2023. Honorable Speaker, this bill seeks to make amendments to the National Land Commission Act number 5 of 2012 to confer back to the National Land Commission the power to continue reviewing all grants or disposition of public land to establish their propriety or legality since Section 14 of the Act has lapsed. Honorable Speaker, the bill further seeks to allow the National Land Commission to continue admitting and processing historical land injustices injustices claim, since the Act provides that a historical land claim may only be admitted, registered, and processed by the National Land Commission if it is brought within 5 years from the date of the commencement of the Act. Honorable Speaker, it is very important to note that in 2010, when we were establishing this new constitution, many people went to vote for this constitution because many historical land injustices were going to be tackled by this law. Honorable Speaker, before the 2010 constitution, there had been many commissions, including the Lungu Commission, including the Njongojo Commission, and including many other commissions which went out there to find out which was the issue that was bedeviling land in this country. Honorable Speaker, it was established that there were very many cases of historical land injustices at the coast, in the Rift Valley, in Central, and the whole of this country. And the conclusion was we needed a body, an institution that would handle historical land injustices in this country. And therefore, the National Lands Commission was born with one of the key mandates under Article 67 to look and establish what were the issues and tackle them and give the people a reprieve. And that is why, Honorable Speaker, the National Lands Commission was born. But then, the new law that came in, the National Lands Commission Act, came in and limited the operation of the Constitution by putting a limit, a time limit to it. And yet, the Constitution did not put a time limit. But a statute of this House was prepared under the National Lands Commission bill, and that bill put a time limit on handling historical land injustices. It put a limit also on review of grants, which actually a court in this country has ruled that this law or that section which gave a limit, a time limit to investigating historical land injustices was actually unconstitutional. Honorable Speaker, we have an opportunity today as we move in this bill to actually right that wrong, that we put a time limit to historical land injustices in the law. So what does this bill what does my amendment mean? Honorable Speaker, the National Land Commission Act, Section 14, subsection 1, which reads that subject to Article 68C(4) of the Constitution, the Commission shall, within 5 years of the commencement of the Act, on its own motion or upon a complaint by the national or county government, a community or an individual, review all grants or disposition of public land to establish their propriety or legality is amended by deleting the expression within 5 years. So what we are doing in this law is to delete the expression within 5 years. This expression within 5 years has actually killed National Lands Commission. And yet, National Lands Commission is a constitutional body which the Constitution did not give a time limit, but a law within this House that was done in this House actually gave a time limit. And it has many people, especially at the coast and many other places, have lost hope, Honorable Speaker, because of that time limit. So what we are going to do in this law, in my amendment, is we are going to strike out the part that reads within 5 years of the commencement of the Act and leave it open so that as many cases can be received by the National Land Commission, they can be handled and determined. And that is the essence. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, the bill further proposes to amend Section 14 of the National Land Commission Act by deleting subsection 9, which provides that the Commission may, where it considered it necessary, petition Parliament to extend the period for undertaking the review specified in subsection 1. Honorable Speaker, when the law lapsed, no other body came to this Parliament to request an extension. But by the virtue that we are deleting that section that says within 5 years, therefore, subsequently, we also must delete Part 9 or Section 9 of that law. Honorable Speaker, currently, the Commission receives a budget from this National Assembly. The Commission has officers and all that, but its work is impeded from addressing any complaints dealing with public land and providing redress even where there are clear and apparent cases of illegality in the disposition relating to public land because of the time limitation. Honorable Speaker, today as we speak, the National Lands Commission is a lame duck, is a dog that cannot bite. It's an institution that is there that is not helping. Because of that, there are many cases that were received actually from the coast on public land that was stolen, on reasons why today there are so many squatters that this government is allocating a lot of money to go and buy land, which on its own should not have been bought, is because we have killed National Lands Commission. But Honorable Speaker, we have hope, an array of hope for the many squatters that are out there that have been waiting for justice. Honorable Speaker, and the members of this House to have seize this opportunity to liberate the land at the coast and allow that all those people that are sitting now as squatters find solace in this parliament, that for once they will own land, they will develop, and they will have an opportunity to be like other Kenyans. Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, Section 15 of the Principal Act, subsection 3A, which provides that a historical land claim may only be admitted, registered, and processed by the Commission if it is brought within 5 years from the date of commencement of this act, is hereby amended and deleted in this amendment. Honorable Speaker, I want to invite these members to join me in deleting this very oppressive part of the law so that we give our people and Kenyans an opportunity. You know, many people will say, Owen is moving this matter because a lot of people are at the coast. There are people in the Rift Valley, especially in the Kericho region, who are suffering because of this part. They want to bring petitions to the National Lands Commission to get help, but they cannot get help because of this unconstitutional provision that was put in the law. Honorable Speaker, as I wind up, I want to say this.
In June of 2011, Mercy Kino was just months away from graduating with a master's in communication.
11, which provides that the provisions of this section shall stand repealed within 10 years. Honorable Speaker, this amendment will allow the Commission to continuously admit, register, and process historical injustices claims and handle disputes that had not been brought within the limitation period uninterrupted. Honorable Speaker, I must say this in this House. There are many people who are afraid out there, and they are peddling lies that Owen's amendments will actually make people investigate private land. I want to put it on record in this House. All that private land was once public land, and how it transitioned from public to private is what we want to know. Just that. Why are people so afraid? Why would you be afraid of this amendment? Honorable Speaker, I want to say that these historical land injustice hearings have been there. It has not done any harm to anyone. The National Lands Commission has been doing listening and all that, and nobody has really been targeted or anything. But today we are bringing this amendment and people saying, oh, you know, we are targeting. We are not targeting. We want squatters in this country to have an opportunity to own land. Those people who have historical claims, those who went to the Nchonjo Commission, those who went to the Ndungu Commission, those people who went to many commissions, we have a reprieve in the National Land Commission, Honorable Speaker, where we can take our claims. They will be heard by the commissioners, and a determination will be made. If you did not steal any public land, you will have your land. But if you stole public land, and that land had people who were there before, please give it up because it belongs to those people. Honorable Speaker, as I conclude, the amendment to Section 15
Hold on. We have a problem of technology.
Honorable Speaker, sorry, you know Cupcake is my friend, so I can say a few things to him. Honorable Speaker, I want to say this. All the above stated amendments that we want to make will be a significant change, will bring significant change as we'll transform the review of the Commission from a bounded time-limited endeavor into an open-minded, ongoing activity, since until today, there are many cases relating to grants and disposition. Honorable Speaker, I want to say this, and I want to say this because it's very important that I say it. Courts in this country, the judiciary system, is very expensive for the peasants at the coast and many other places. They cannot afford to hire a lawyer to go and defend a case in court. They don't have that luxury. The National Land Commission was actually formed as a quasi-judicial form to give an opportunity to the poor people to be heard. Today, you have people who come, they go to court, claim that this land is theirs, and because this is a poor person from the coast or other region, they cannot get justice at the courts. But the National Land Commission gave people an opportunity to be heard, both the rich and the poor. For us to kill the National Land Commission using a law, a statute of the House, and yet the Constitution gave the people an opportunity to be heard, is being unjust to this country and to the holoi polloi of this nation. Honorable Speaker, I want to urge members, this is the opportunity we must stand up to defend the poor people who cannot afford funds to go to court to claim their land. This is the opportunity, Honorable Speaker, that those for a long time have been oppressed historically have an opportunity to get a solution to their problems. Honorable Speaker, this is the opportunity that as members of Parliament, we must stand with the spirit of the 2010 Constitution and be counted as people who stood up when everybody else did not want the poor people to be represented. Honorable Speaker, I beg you that as we move forward, that these members, these honorable members who sit in this chamber, look at those people who have suffered historically, those who have never seen a title deed from 1963, those who have title deed. The Mau Mau fought the war of Mau Mau, but when they came back, the land that they owned had been taken away by those people who sided with the British. This is the moment. This is the opportunity. And I want to urge this House that we stand with the poor of this country and give them an opportunity to be heard using the National Land Commission. The National Land Commission is the only last frontier for the poor people of this country. As I finish, Honorable Speaker, I want to request the Honorable Member, who is also the chair of the Lands Committee, to second this motion. I invite you to second, Honorable Speaker. Thank you very much.
Joash Nyamoko.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity for me to second this motion. Let me start by thanking the Honorable Member for Kilifi North, for the passionate way in the way he has moved these particular amendments. I want to confirm to you, Madam Speaker, that we've had an opportunity to sit with the Honorable Member. We've had discussions, very robust engagements, and we do realize that these amendments, which have been sponsored by the Honorable Member, will go a long way in ensuring that we give life and we resuscitate the activities of the National Land Commission. Madam Speaker, let me say that the objective of this particular bill is the amendments of Section 14 of the National Land Commission Act, number 5 of 2012, to restore the National Land Commission's power to review grants and positions of public land for the propriety and legality. In addition, the bill seeks to amend Section 15 of the Act to enable the Commission continue admitting and processing historical land injustice claims which lapsed in September 21st, 2021. The Commission's power to review grants and process historical land injustices expired, leading to a gap in its mandate. As a result, many historical land injustice claims remain unsolved due to time limit, necessitating the restoration of the Commission's authority in this regard. What we have, Madam Speaker, at the moment, what is obtaining at the moment is that the National Land Commission is not able to process some of these cases which are reported to it simply because of this time limit. And what is being proposed here is a continuation and sustainability of this very emotive aspect of injustices. The bill underwent its first reading on Wednesday, 27th September 2023, and it was subjected to public participation in accordance to the constitutional requirements and our standing orders, Madam Speaker. The Departmental Committee on Lands engaged with the sponsor of the bill, as highlighted, and solicited comments from various stakeholders through an advertisement which was done on 2nd October 2023. We did receive a number of memorandum from various stakeholders, including the National Land Commission, the Institution of Surveyors of Kenya, the Kenya Land Alliance, and also the State Department of Lands and Fiscal Planning. Madam Speaker, I want to thank the members of the committee for their dedication, for their diligence in examining the bill, and I also want to thank the Office of the Speaker, the clerks who have served the committee for their leadership and guidance throughout the legislative process. I also want to thank all those who are involved in processing this particular bill. I want to end by saying that this is a very crucial exercise, actually the two amendments which are going to be done, and it will give life to the National Land Commission. At the moment, we have so many cases which have been reported. Some are reported to the National Assembly, some go to the Committee on Petitions, and some even go to the National Land Commission. By ensuring that we're able to effect these amendments, I'm very sure it will be a reprieve to the citizens of this country. With that, Madam Speaker, I'll want to second.
Thank you. I therefore propose that the National Land Commission Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 43 of 2023, be read a second time. I'll give this chance to Honorable Mishi, if not in the House, Honorable Zamzam.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika kunipa wakati huu na mimi kuweza kutoa mchango wangu katika mambo ya tume ya National Land Commission. Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi nataka niweze kumpongeza ndugu yangu Owen Baya. Tumeangalia historia hasa katika ukanda wa Pwani, Mheshimiwa Spika. Hii tume ya kuangalia mambo ya mashamba, Mheshimiwa Spika, imekuwa ikisaidia sana na ikatoa uwazi wa mambo halisi yalivyo kule chini. Mheshimiwa Spika, watu wetu wanateseka sana. Kwa mfano hata kwa sasa hivi baada ya tume hii kuweza kuangazia dhulma za historia za mashamba, kuna watu mpaka sasa waangaishwa, Mheshimiwa Spika. Na mimi nataka kusema hivi, Mheshimiwa Spika, ni dhahiri shahiri kuwa tume hii ilichaguliwa na iliweza kutengwa ili iweze kusaidia historia ya dhulma za mashamba na mambo kama hayo, Mheshimiwa Spika, ili mnyonge aweze kupata haki yake, Mheshimiwa Spika. Na mpaka sasa hivi tunavyozungumza, Mheshimiwa Spika, hata sisi pia tumeleta malalamishi ambayo yametoka katika kaunti zetu, na unajua ukanda wa Pwani, Mheshimiwa Spika, imekuwa ndio chanzo kikubwa cha kupata dhulma za kihistoria za mashamba, Mheshimiwa Spika. Watu wetu wamekaa kama squatter, na ukiangalia katika mashamba yale, Mheshimiwa Spika, kuna watu wamekaa zaidi ya miaka 200, Mheshimiwa Spika, lakini ile dhulma ambayo wanafanyiwa, hasa ukiangalia wakazi wa pale Majengo, pale Mwembe Kuku, kuna kule Bondeni, Kiziwi, hawa ni wakazi ambao wanalalamika mpaka sasa, Mheshimiwa Spika, hawajapata haki yao. Na hii tume ikiweza kupunguzwa muda ama kuwekwa muda rasmi, itakuwa hawana mwanya wa kuweza kujieleza zaidi, Mheshimiwa Spika. Mheshimiwa Spika, hawa watu itokeza tu yeye amepotea, amekaa nje miaka yote, lakini anakuja kuunadi, kuja kuwapatia wale wazee wasiwasi akiwaambia atawavunjia nyumba zao waweze kuondoka, wakati ambapo wamekuwa wakilipa kodi kwa zaidi ya miaka 50. Mheshimiwa Spika, sheria iko wazi kuwa Wakenya waweze kupewa ithibati ya shamba, Wakenya waweze kupata hizi title deed, wakae kwa amani. Mheshimiwa Spika, lakini unapata kuna watu wanawanyanyasa, na ndio maana tume hii iliwekwa ili kuweza kuangalia masala haya. Licha ya kuwa mimi naweza kusupport mjadala huu Mheshimiwa Spika, ili tume kama hii iweze kukaa na iwekwe wazi, isiwekewe vizingiti ya miaka 5, iwe itaweza kuhudumu miaka yote, ndio tupate shida ambazo Wakenya wanapata Mheshimiwa Spika. Lakini nawapa wale tume ya shamba, mimi nawapa changamoto. Mmefanya kesi nyingi, mmesikia mambo mengi ya mashamba, mmesikia vilio vya watu wengi. Mmefanya kitu gani mpaka sasa kuhakikisha kuwa hawa watu wetu wanapata haki zao? Mheshimiwa Spika, hii tume ni nzuri sana, lakini pia mimi naomba iwe inaweza kujikwamua kuweza kutatua matatizo yaliyoko, Wakenya waweze kupata haki zao, kama vile tunavyoona wazee wetu Council of Elders Mombasa wamelia sana. Mzee Sumba amelilia mashamba mpaka saizi anazeeka, umri umekwenda, lakini anatoa machozi, wanavunjiwa wakati serikali imenyamaza. Mheshimiwa Spika, kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi nataka nimwambie ndugu yangu Owen Baya, tumetoka sote ndani ya pwani, tunajua matatizo ya watu wetu, na ndugu yangu Owen Baya uko katika mrengo wa serikali. Mimi naomba uingilie kati pia, hata kama tunatetea National Land Commission, na wao pia waweze kujibidiisha kuhakikisha kuwa zile haki za wanyonge na wao wanajua, waweze kuzipigania. Hawa ndugu zetu waweze kupata title deed, waweze kukaa kwa amani. Mheshimiwa Spika, Mheshimiwa Spika, wakati mwingine mimi nikikaa huanza kulia machozi nikiona vile watu wangu wanavyodhalilishwa. Wazee, makaburi yao, mahali ambapo wamelala, wanaangaishwa. Mtu anatoka kule Oman anakusanya hapo rent hapo ndani ya Mombasa, na yeye hata nchi yake ni nyingine. Mheshimiwa Spika, kwa hiyo na mimi naomba pia National Land Commission waweze kuangazia kwa serikali, waambie hawa ni Wakenya wazaliwa, hata kama ni wanyonge, hawana pesa za kwenda kotini, hawana pesa za kuweza kujitetea, lakini serikali itoke kuwatetea wanyonge ambao ni Wakenya, waweze kupata haki yao. Kwa hiyo mimi leo Mheshimiwa Spika, naunga mjadala huu wa leo nikisema National Land Commission iweze kuachwa ifanye kazi bila kuwekewa vizingiti vya wakati, lakini pia nayo ijibidiishe kuweza kutoa ile matukio ambao wamepata na kutupatia uthabiti wa kuwa watu fulani tuliwasikiza vilio vyao, na leo tumetoa utatuzi, wamepata hati miliki za shamba. Pengine mtu alipokonywa shamba yake ameregeshewa shamba lake, lakini ikiwa watakuwa wanakaa tu Nairobi, kuita watu njoo Mombasa, njoo Nairobi, akija na lala hoteli, hana pesa, hana nini, kisha wanabaki hivyo hivyo. Mheshimiwa Spika, hatuwezi kubali. Wao pia wawajibike kama National Land Commission, wawajibike kuhakikisha kuwa wanapatia watu wetu haki zao, wawajibike kuonyesha kuwa kazi waliopewa, japokuwa wanalipwa na Mkenya yule ambaye yuko chini, na wao waonyeshe matokeo ya kazi ambao wameifanya. Mheshimiwa Spika, kwa hiyo leo mimi naunga mkono nikisema National Land Commission isiweze kutolewa, isiweze kusitishwa, wala isiwekewe mipaka, iwachwe huru, miaka nenda miaka rudi, tuwe nayo, iwe inaweza kusaidia Wizara ya Ardhi kuweza kufanya kazi. Mheshimiwa Spika, Mheshimiwa Spika, pale kwenye Ardhi House kuna uozo mkubwa sana. Leo tukisema tunawaachia pale, wao ndo wachukue kila kitu wafanye. Mheshimiwa Spika, watu wanaenda pale, mtu maskini umekaa ndani ya nyumba yako miaka 100, miaka 50, unasikia mtu amekuja na title deed, anasema pale ni mahala pake. Uozo huu huko pale katika Ardhi House, na ndio maana mimi kama mama Mombasa nasema tusiwachie mamlaka yote. Wizara ya Ardhi imetufeli miaka mingi sana, tuache mwanya wa kuweza kutatua disputes ambazo ziko, mwanya wa kuweza kusikiliza wale ambao walala hoi, ambao wanalia kule chini. Manake mnyonge mnyongeni, lakini haki yake mpeni. Na leo mimi nalia pamoja na baba yangu Hassan Sumba nikisema haki zao za watu wa Majengo, watu wa Mwembe Kuku, watu wa Bondeni wapewe haki zao. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika.
Asante Mheshimiwa Zamzam. Kama hujamaliza utakuwa umesalia dakika 5 kwenye kikao kijacho, kama utapenda kuendelea na mswada huo. Lakini kwa sasa tunaingia kwenye kuahirisha shughuli la bunge kama ilivyoelekezwa hapo awali ili kujadili swala mahususi la dharura na muhimu kwa taifa kama ilivyoelekezwa na spika, ambayo itakuwa ikiwasilishwa na Mheshimiwa Korere. Utakuwa na nafasi ya dakika 10, Mheshimiwa Sara Korere, na vile vile mwenzako ambaye pia alikuwa na hoja kama hiyo, Mheshimiwa Mwangi Kiunjuri, nitampa nafasi dakika 10, alafu mwingine yeyote ambaye atataka kuchangia atapata nafasi ya dakika 5. Kwa hivyo Mheshimiwa Korere, nafasi ni yako. Tutarudi kwa huu mswada kwenye kikao kijacho.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I moved a motion of the notice of adjournment of the House on the definite matter of urgent national importance regarding the escalating state of insecurity in Laikipia. Madam Speaker, we are all aware that security of the citizens of Kenya and their property is a constitutional right. And as we speak, Madam Speaker, the residents of Laikipia North, and especially Mgogodo East and parts of Segera Ward, have been denied that very important and constitutional right. Madam Speaker, it's very difficult for members of parliament to go on their daily duties while the people we represent are actually being terrorized in their own homes. They can't go about their own personal businesses because of these terrorists called bandits. And Madam Speaker, sometimes I really wonder what this thing called cattle rustling is. Whatever it is robbery with violence. And if it is robbery with violence, the robbers must be met by equal violence from the state. Madam Speaker, as I stand on the floor of this House today, the residents of Laikipia North, from December last year to date, actually we've been visited by terror, a group that has rained a lot of terror on the constituents. And Madam Speaker, nobody is safe. Even our security agencies on the ground are not safe. As I speak here, Madam Speaker, on 6th of February 2024, Mediako Meshami was attacked in his home at Tiripolei. They drove away 80 herds of goats, and he was left nursing a gunshot wound on his leg. Madam Speaker, on March 2nd, Abraham Lepiet, a Class 6 people, was attacked by bandits, and 78 goats from their family were driven away, and the boy was left with serious gunshot wounds. Madam Speaker, on March, 15th March, Lolmarik farm was attacked, and 200 herds of cows was driven away, and nothing has been recovered to date. Madam Speaker, in December 29th of 2022, Mr. Getumbe's 61 cows were driven away, and to date, nothing has been recovered. Madam Speaker, I can go on and on and on. But Madam Speaker, on 31st of March, residents of Sanga were attacked, and the home of Chief Kisio and his family was attacked. 400 herds of cattle were driven away, and a 12-year-old boy, one John Lesalaun, was left to fight for his life.